Hey guys, today my topic was what is GDP? GDP is short for the gross domestic product. Actually, its definition is precisely described as the market value of all kinds, all final goods and services produced within a country in a given period of time. Well, I will explain it words by words, and if necessary, I will use examples of oranges and apples to make it clear. Well, the first words will be market value. So what is market value? Before answering this question, I would like to ask you a question. How do you compare the values of apples and oranges? Which means that is, how do you determine the values of apples and oranges? Because they're two different kinds of fruits, right? You determine the values by looking at the colors, size, or something else. Actually, GDP uses their market prices to determine their values. So that means if the prices of apples are twice much higher than the oranges, that means the apples contributes twice as much as oranges to the GDP of all. All means GDP includes all items produced in the economy. The GDP measures all the market values. GDP measures market values of not just apples, oranges I just mentioned, but also peers, books, movies, haircuts, services, so on. Lots of things are included in the GDP. Final. This word final means the last one. Yeah. So I will use examples to explain it. What is final? How to determine it is final? Well, the farmers will grow apples and oranges that will be used to produce apple juice and orange juice. Here, apples and oranges are called intermediate goods because they're just in the middle. They're used to produce another product. The apple juice and orange juice here called final goods. So the GDP includes only the value of final goods, because the value of intermediate goods, just like apples and oranges, the prices of oranges, apples are already included in the price of apple juice and orange juice. Goods and services. I mentioned a lot of goods there. Goods here are referred to the tangible goods. Things like apples, oranges that you can touch and feel. But GDP also includes intangible services like haircuts, house cleaning, or music, a concert, things like that. So I give examples. If you want to buy a CD, the price is part of GDP, obviously. But if you want to buy a ticket of concert, the price of this ticket is also part of GDP. Produced. Produced here means currently produced at this moment. So GDP only includes goods and services currently produced, which means if you buy a new car, obviously the price adds to the GDP. But if you buy a second car, used car, the price is not included in GDP. The GDP currently, because it was produced in the past, so it is calculated as the former GDP, not the GDP here at present. Within country, that means the GDP adds all the stuff in the country. For example, Honda has factories both in Canada and Japan. So if Honda Canada produces cars, the price of cars are included in the Canadian GDP because they're produced in Canada. But if Canada imports the cars produced in Honda Japan, the prices of cars are not part of Canadian GDP. They are part of Japanese GDP because they're produced in Japan. In a given period of time, well, the GDP is calculated within a specific interval of time, which usually is a year or 3 months long, and GDP is measured, always used to measure the economy's flow of income expenditure during that interval. So here are the whole description of GDP and how to determine, how to decide which one is calculated in the GDP, which one is not in GDP. You have to precisely follow the definition of GDP. You just follow each word by word, and you can find out. For example, buy a second car. Second car is not calculated in the current GDP, but it was calculated in the past GDP. So if you really understand the definition of GDP, now you will be not a problem for you to step further and to learn more about GDP. So, any questions? Thank you.